But I get to see this from the foreign counterparts. They get to wear the black armband. Even England players too also get to wear black armbands once something tragic gets to happen. But this was not seen. And with that, I was like, okay, let it be. And now they're coming back home.
You know, I think it was just, it was an oversight, you know, by whoever should have had the sense to have done that or even, you know, proposed that. It can happen. People can forget or overlook things, not deliberately though, but it would have made good, you know, that our players, you know, would sort of like pledge allegiance to the fact that, you know, what's going on in the country. But it's okay. It happened. It happened. It's a colossal loss for Nigeria, and we hope we don't have to experience this kind of thing again. All right, welcome to the show. We don't want to talk about the defeat anyway, because it's something every Nigerian already knows. So we're going to move on. We have guest speakers on the program this afternoon. We have our friend here, Adebukola Olowoyeye. He's actually the founder and the CEO of Good Minds Leadership Initiative. And so he's a social worker and he's also a life coach. Good afternoon, Buki.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having me.
And thank you for surviving the match yesterday. Yes. As at the time I called you, know, that was the warning I gave you.
Yes,
whether we win or lose, come to the program. All right. Also, we have, he's a militant of this program. Yes, he shares that title with no other person.
I had to be like,
He's a renowned actor, a producer, a screen and script writer, Mr. Femi Durojaye. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Thank you for joining us. Thank you for coming.
Good afternoon.
Okay. All right, so we're still expecting Michael Odiong, who might be joining us in the course of the show, but we have to move on. Remember, the number to use is 0802-836-8971. You can also make use of our other social media platforms.
Yeah, that's on Facebook, facebook.com/Galaxy TV, and on Twitter at official Galaxy TV. Though in the tube, you get to watch previous editions of the program for our YouTube channel, Galaxy TV Nigeria.
All right, so we'll go into our first topic of the day, which is poverty in Nigeria. Nigeria has overtaken India as the country with the largest number of extremely poor, with about 87 million people living in extreme poverty, according to a report by Brookings Institution. Brookings Institution is an NGO based in the USA. Now, before now, India used to hold with a population of 1.324 billion people, as against Nigeria's about 200 million. According to the reports, the number of Nigerians in extreme poverty increases by 6 people every minute. In fact, by the end of this year, 2018, in Africa as a whole, there will probably be about 3.2 million more people living in extreme poverty than there is today. This is an alarming report, if you ask me. And for Nigeria to be number one, I don't know what to say. But first, let's take a break. Let's see a little from this report. When we come back, we'll start talking.
This is Nigeria, Africa's second biggest economy after South Africa. Dubbed the Saudi Arabia of Africa because of its huge oil reserves, Nigeria is a place where poverty should have been a thing of the past. Battered and bruised, this country has suffered from years of rampant corruption and military coups. Unfortunately, corruption has continued to be the dark poster child identified with this West African giant of over 100 million people. 100 million Nigerians live on less than $1 a day in this country of almost 160 million people. The Nigerian society has gotten so used to the corruption such that everywhere I went, the ordinary citizens talked about it.
Corruption is the kind of fabric that has eaten deep into the Nigerian body. I think with time, Nigeria will change with time.
All right, we welcome you back on the show. If you're just joining us, it's The Buzz. And while that report was going on, our third guest walked in. It's a pleasure to have him here. I introduced you already before you got here. But he's the public relations consultant for Premier Records. He's a talent, talent what? I don't want to use the word manager.
What? Hey, that's the only thing.
It's a talent. No, it's bigger than that. So I'm looking for a bigger word. But anyways, talent manager. Yes, amongst other things. It's a pleasure to have Michael Odiong with us on the show. Good afternoon, Michael. Thank you for joining us. All right, so gentlemen, let's talk about this issue of Nigeria becoming the most poverty-stricken nation in the whole world. This is alarming. Mr. Durojaye, everybody is putting the blame at the doorstep of corruption, because Nigeria has been seen as a country, you know, that has so much wealth in population, wealth in resources, wealth in anything you can think about. But here we are today as the poorest nation in the world. How did we get here?
It's very simple. A lot of people might not agree with me, but the chickens will come to roost. You elect a president on the platform of coming to fight corruption. He ends up not fighting corruption, but his political opponents. Let's take the National Assembly, for example, who are supposed to be the watchdog over this country. Was the last year budget, there was allegation that the budget were padded. The budget was padded. A police panel was set up to investigate and question the leadership of the National Assembly. So they ran to Buhari, to the Aso Rock, to meet President Buhari. And after the meeting with Buhari, Muhammadu Buhari, as our president, declared that there was no budget padding. And the police panel, we are still waiting. Muhammadu Buhari is condoning corruption. You understand? Now, Transparency International came out and said corruption has actually worsened under Buhari. Like Mohammed is telling us that there is conspiracy against Nigeria, is this and this. Look, international independent bodies cannot conspire against Nigeria. Obasanjo said the same thing, that this government was condoning corruption. Now, corruption is linked with poverty. So I am not surprised that poverty has increased. Maybe Muhammadu Buhari is used to, if you do the demographic breakdown, you find out that this poverty is really excruciating in northern Nigeria.
Exactly.
Muhammadu Buhari is used to his people.
Not to talk about internally displaced persons.
So maybe Buhari wants to turn everybody to Almanjeri. He's not doing, what are the economic policies? This country keep falling into recession and things are getting worse, and they are still lying to us that things are going to get better. It's not getting better. It's getting worse. So poverty is going to increase because this government is clueless. They don't know what to do. 3 years is gone.
Okay. All right, Michael. Now, aside from corruption, we definitely have terrorism, which is also a major
that's contributed.
That's also contributed to Nigeria being regarded as the poorest nation, and we're still seeing more to come.
Well, I can understand how my friend here feels. It's very annoying, and when you see a government that is supposed to fix things, because that was the basis they were voted in, and then you see things happening right in front of you that are not right, it becomes a problem. Terrorism everywhere is a conspiracy theory for countries to make money, for gun makers to make money and sell their arms. If there's no war anywhere, nobody would sell arms. So it is how you are able to control that gang of people that would always foment trouble to sell their ammunitions and all that as a country. But here we are in a country whereby you talk of headsmen carrying from stick carrying to
Guns.
automatic rifles carrying, not even Dane guns. And I ask the question
Sophisticated.
always, sophisticated according to the president himself.
Yeah.
So the question is, where do they get these arms? Are we really talking about headsmen? The truth of the matter is, look, these politicians know the truth. That is it, they know the truth. Many of these things are arranged by them because when there is serious issues with security, monies are being pumped in.
Okay, but let's keep the topic in context, okay? We're talking poverty and how Nigeria has risen, you know, to that level where we're regarded as the nation with the highest rate of poverty, you know, in the whole world. You know, is it just all our political issues that have led us here? How about our economic policies, our economic plans, and all of that? Shouldn't that have dealt with the issue of poverty?
Let me tell you, there's no how you would separate economics from politics. Because the politicians determine the economy. So you cannot separate them. But in a situation whereby you lack creativity, innovation in your system, it becomes a problem. Because you will not know how to solve issues when it comes to economic issues. And for the last 3 years, I am shocked that no single minister has been sacked, despite the fact that you know that over 80% of them are incompetent and are not functioning. No single head of parastatal, maybe very few, have been sacked. You have confusion everywhere. And people are being put in places that they do not understand how these things work. And so they are causing economic mayhem. And then you say there will be no poverty.
It takes a competent person to identify somebody that is not competent.
All right, okay, I guess we need to take a break, and the bus will be right back. Stay tuned.
This is Nigeria, Africa's second biggest economy after South Africa. Dubbed the Saudi Arabia of Africa because of its huge oil reserves, Nigeria is a place where poverty should have been a thing of the past. Battered and bruised, this country has suffered from years of rampant corruption and military coups. Unfortunately, corruption has continued to be the dark poster child identified with this West African giant of over 100 million people. 100 million Nigerians live on less than $1 a day in this country of almost 160 million people. The Nigerian society has gotten so used to the corruption such that everywhere I went, the ordinary citizens talked about it.
Corruption is the kind of fabric that has eaten deep into the Nigerian body. I think with time, Nigeria will change. With time.
Welcome you back on the show. 0802-836-8971. That's the number to use. All right, we're still looking at Nigeria being the #1 country when you talk poverty. First of all, I didn't even know we're contesting for this position. You know, so arriving here is a shocker, you know, for me. And it's very, very disheartening news. I don't know. How are you receiving this news?
Yes,
Okay.
these are news you hear first thing in the morning and you're heartbroken. Just like somebody jokingly said that in Nigeria, you don't need an alarm to wake you up in the morning. Nigerian problems will wake you up first thing in the morning. And I have some contrary opinions as regards this issue of poverty being compared, Nigeria being compared to India. I don't want to do the blame game thing here. I want to talk on structure because we blame Jonathan, we blame Baba Yabo, we blame Buhari. How long are we going to keep blaming? The issue is that how does it work in developed countries? Take for instance, looking at the statistics, breakdown of budgets in America, UK, and South Africa. The budgeting for an individual in America is 3,000 naira. when you break it down. For the United Kingdom, it is 2,000 naira per person when you break it down per person. Just here in South Africa, it is 1,500 naira when they do their budgeting per year, how much
is allocated.
Yeah. And in Nigeria, if you break our budgeting down, it will be shocking to know that it is 120 naira per person. So we're talking about.
So that means if I eat lunch, 120, more than 120 a day, I'm in trouble.
Yes, as an individual, you're eating more than the nation's budget.
Thank you, Buki, for this analysis. I never knew.
Yeah, you're eating more than Nigeria's budget.
Wow.
And that is the same budget it is taking. That petty, I don't call it budget, I call it petty cash. That's the same petty cash that is taking forever for the National Assembly to approve. You understand that they are politicizing and it's taking longer than necessary to approve. That's how do you reduce poverty from there? Second point is that my friend in South Africa told me that in every hospital, there is an immigration officer that is attached to every hospital. As soon as you give birth, the name of the child is being registered. So the whole country can be able to tell you the number of children that were born in so time. So no government can end poverty without proper planning. It is not possible. Let's say we just have elites. We have a lot of degree holders, a lot of master degree holders. We have people that are too intelligent in our country, and our country is suffering. It's so disheartening, like you said, because all these things are just practical solutions. They are common sense. We don't need to speak too much grammar to achieve these. So the poverty rate, how can you reduce when you don't know the number of graduates that comes into Lagos on a daily basis? You don't know the number of children that are being born in Lagos. How can you plan? It is not possible. So the system, it's all about system and not even. Now, if Buhari leaves, somebody else comes and there's no system, that means you are going to be going around in circles. We are climbing mountains made of sand. That means we keep going back and going back and going around in circles. So I think if government officials are hearing me, these are common sense, practical issues. It's a system. Let's build a system.
Can I say something? Yeah. We are wasting time in this country. Nigeria cannot move forward with this present structure that we have. We can't move forward. The founding fathers of this country sat down and agreed on regional government. If you do not go back to regional government in Nigeria, we are wasting our time. It's just exactly as what you said. We are working on sand, climbing sand. We will still come back to square one. We will still come back to zero.
Because you keep sinking.
Yes, let's go back to where there is competition amongst our people. That's when there will be progress. Oshibado, President, Vice President, what is his proper title?
He's Vice President Yemi Osibajo.
Maybe we call him His Eminence, the Vice President of Nigeria. You understand? He first said Nigeria does not need restructuring. Now he's now saying Nigeria needs restructuring. And his boss, Muhammadu Buhari, is saying Nigeria does not need restructuring. There's chaos. APC government is in chaos. They don't know what they are doing.
I don't want us to
politicize.
No,
my point exactly.
My
point exactly.
Wait. It is a cohesive government that knows what it is doing that can effect change. This is my country. I'm not a member of any political party, so I must talk about this country. These are a group of people that don't really know what they are doing.
Okay.
Look at the security situation. Somebody said about farms. I don't know. Maybe it's the other program. Maybe in a few years, maybe next year now, we will see the effect of all these X-Men
killings.
You understand?
On our food, the food security thing is also being discussed in some parts, but nobody is really paying it huge attention.
We must pay attention by next year.
We don't go into farming. Okay, Michael, you want to say something quickly?
Basically, if we politicize it, then we are missing the step. You understand?
Yeah.
I would not agree that we should not do the blame game. We should do the blame game because the blame game will start from 1999 when democracy took its course in Nigeria. You understand? And between 1999 and now, are you saying that we've not had people that are intelligent, innovative, and creative enough to be able to set structures? This is all about political will. Obasanjo did some of the things he did. He had the political will to send some people, even in his cabinet, to prison, even while they were serving. That is political will. Jonathan had some political will, did some things. Now, this is another dispensation, whether you like it or not. Like the APC chairman said yesterday, Shemole, that Obasanjo should give account of the $16 billion, for the power sector. Yes, that is good. Give account. There's no how you can talk about the now and the tomorrow if you don't talk about the past. Okay. You have to be able to fix the past
for reference.
Yes.
Can I come in here?
Proper structure.
Let me just a minute.
Oshomole
is just talking politics. There's no mystery about the 16 billion power project. No mystery. When Obasanjo handed over, you understand, he left notes for his predecessor. Is that correct? Predecessor? I mean, for the person he handed over, the notes are still there, and they are still with President Muhammadu Buhari. There is no mystery about it. No mystery whatsoever. If there is fraud, that is the problem I have with this government. If there is fraud, they have all the facts to go to court. Go to court.
Okay.
My point is talking about politics. I think, but right at this point, these are things that are pulling us back. I think we should settle it. It's not leadership. What we need, what is not politics that is making us go up and down, going around in circles. We need transformational leaders. Check the same Indians that we're talking about. Indians in the 70s were known for Indian films. Now, presently in the world, they are the best in pharmaceuticals, medicine, and the rest. Okay. That is transformational leadership. We need leaders that have vision for the country. Look at what Fashola did in Lagos. There's continuity. There's a structure. You cannot compare Lagos State to any other state in Nigeria because there's a structure.
That's your opinion. What did Fashola do?
What did Fashola do in Lagos?
Let's not do this, gentlemen. Let's not do this. Let's not do this.
Forward and to move us away from this.
Out of this zone.
Out of this zone.
This is the first time I don't want to be number one, you know.
Do you understand? What's the way forward to the?
How do we get out of this?
Okay, now I agree with this my gentleman here that you cannot divorce the economy from politics. Political leaders take economic decisions, right? Let me tell you about the greatest fraud in this country. It's the National Population Commission. You understand?
Coming back to my point now.
You are saying we should not talk about politics. It's politics. If Buhari wants to fight corruption, the monumental corruption in this country is national
population.
We don't know how many we are.
So how can we plan?
There are allegations that there are so many states in the north that are having fictitious, what's it called, population, that our revenue are being channeled to. And they're embezzling this money. Their people are excruciatingly poor. So, if, for example, a government that wants to fight corruption says, okay, we are going to have a census. Let's know exactly how many we are.
That's a starting point.
That's a starting point.
Okay.
Where we have first. Then we can channel resources to where it needs. Instead of giving A resources to people that need less than A resources. That's where we embezzle and waste public funds.
I think that's the solution. We need to know our numbers and we plan accordingly. In America, for instance, when they pay you $10, they know that this $10 should take care of your bill, your gas, your water, your debt, and the rest. If you earn below that $10, you cannot cope because there's a structure that if you earn less than this, you cannot meet up.
Majority of Nigerians are living below $1.
Below $1.
$1.
Yes.
All right, let's look at the feedback platform. Let's see how our viewers are reacting. Joseph from Benin says, good day to you presenters. The poverty in our country is caused by the past leaders that looted this nation dry. All right, this one also says, yes, Nigeria is the worst poverty nation because greed of our leaders, most of them have bought over the whole of Dubai. In addition, they lost focus. It's only them and their kith and kins. Most of the industries today have either shut down or relocated to other African countries. Omagbemi Jonathan from Kaduna sent that one in. This one says, the boss, Nigeria is bad. Please, can you be of help? I have a problem. Everybody here has a problem. We're all Nigerians. All right. Oyebanji James says the thing about poverty in Nigeria has to do with the kind of economic policies which the present government is running, which failed 30 years ago. All right, so many are coming in, and I'm trying not to read the ones that are too strongly worded. Okay, Marcus from Braz says Nigeria as a nation has a lot of mineral resources, but because of bad leadership, that is why we found ourselves in this condition. This country will never make any progressive change as long as they keep pointing fingers at previous government. This same government brought Nigerians on their knees into poverty in 1983, and now we are heading in the same direction. Pastor Sam Otokpa sent that one in. Many more are coming in, but our time is fast moving along. Gentlemen, this is not great news. We have something called the EGRP, which is the Economic Growth Recovery Plan, which is one of the economy policies or reform programs of this present administration to sort of boost our economy. Well, if we're getting this kind of report, what does it say about this particular
let me tell
particular
you,
program?
I really feel for the vice president of this country.
Why so?
He is doing so much, but so little is being achieved.
It's like winking in the dark.
Yes, he's a very intelligent man who knows what to do. But when you bring in politics, it becomes very difficult. You know,
I don't agree.
Let me tell you, the easiest way to solve this poverty issue lies with the people.
Okay.
When you resolve that, look, enough is enough for these politicians. Let us get the right people in there. You will start solving the problem. I give you an example. I was coming this morning and I saw people hanging stuffs about NEPA. No prepaid bill, no payment, enough of darkness. It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Now, people have started revolting that you can no longer treat us this way. You can't keep us in darkness and then you bring some very, very nasty bills, you know, for us. Enough is enough. So any NEPA man that goes to such places, they know what they're going to face.
True.
And do you know what they're going to do, Michael? Some of them are actually not going to be having lights. And you still see some of the Nigerians going back to the NEPA officials to bribe them, or rather to beg them.
Well, the issue is a transformation has started. And people are getting to be aware that, look, it's high